Hello and welcome to another episode of Juicy and Delicious, and today we're going to do a DIY segment that really looks at comfort foods that we usually enjoy separately, and we're bringing them together today.
And delicious, yeah, yeah. Juicy and delicious.
So if you're wondering why we're actually messing up your favorite comfort foods, it's because, you know, day in, day out, you can't just eat your pot noodle on its own.
And your peanut butter.
So we've decided to bring these two favorite things together.
And I just want to say that this particular episode is dedicated to our very own dear Hello Panda.
Hi Mark!
Hi Mark!
We love you!
So Del, tell us what we're going to do today.
So I figured pot noodle is something that's easy and most people have in the home. So, and it would be nice to add a little creamy texture to the spicy tom yumness of this noodle. So the way I figure it, we're going to do a dry noodle that's tossed in a creamy peanut buttery yet spicy tom yum sauce. So how are we going to do this noodle? The way I figure it, it would be nice if it was a dry noodle with a sauce, as I mentioned earlier. So I think, Julia, since you're the pot noodle expert, why don't you start us off by cooking the noodle?
I'm a pot noodle expert because that's really the only thing I'm an expert at.
Okay, let's see what we've got inside the package. I think there's a little bit of sambal gravy. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that. Seasoning, but of course MSG is not our best friend, so maybe let's use this just very carefully, and some special garnish.
So what we're going to do is, because we're going to do it this dry way, I'm going to pour the hot water in here and let the noodles cook first.
Oh, hang on, I think we should put some of the special garnish in as well.
Should the garnish be at the end?
No, because it needs the hot water to sort of expand and really neutralize.
And just said I was the pot noodle expert.
So what I'm going to do now is make the creamy sauce. Since Julia's cooking the wonderful pot noodle over there, I figure we're going to use maybe a quarter of the seasoning packet and some of the Skippy peanut butter, and of course a little bit of hot water to make sure that it all blends nicely together.
So are we going to use the tom yum paste?
I really don't know yet, so we'll see how it goes.
We'll be surprised.
Surprise! Okay, anyway, I'm going to tear the seasoning packet now.
Okay.
So we've got some of the seasoning in the bowl. It looks mighty appealing because it's in a volcano-ish kind of cayenne kind of color. Of course,
I think what she means is it looks red and spicy.
Well, so anyway, I was debating whether or not to use the sambal, but I think I'll use a little bit because I know Julia is a chili eater, and because Mike is actually going to be tasting it, I want to watch him sambal. Okay, so we're going to put a little bit of the sambal in.
And you know what's funny is someone was actually saying that if we put in tom yum paste with peanut butter, it might end up tasting like a cross between mee rebus and mee soto, which might be quite interesting.
Ooh, okay, this is really quite gooey and icky. So now, because I've put the sort of sambal paste in, and I've tasted a little bit of it, it's got that nice, very lemongrassy flavour, so I think it will really add to the peanut butter sauce of the noodle. What I'm going to do is now mix it up, and Jules, if you can help me, just a little bit of water, just to make sure that we get it all even, because I think the grainy texture, yeah, I think that will do. Because I think the grainy texture won't be very appealing, so I figured we'll sort of melt the granules a little bit and make it a little smoother. Now, the piece de resistance, Skippy peanut butter.
She means the key. I have to keep translating for this moment.
You know, I don't even speak French to begin with. Anyway, this is Skippy peanut butter.
Not very skinny.
Yeah, it's far from skinny, and we know it's our Hello Panda's favorite food. Not bamboo shoots, but actually Skippy peanut butter. Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna put, I think maybe about a dessert spoon in. First, let's see how it goes.
So as Del's mixing in the peanut butter, I'm glad we added a bit of hot water to begin with, because we see that it's not breaking down as easily as we expected. So it's good that it's a bit of a liquid consistency, and as we see that it's not really diluting as easily we expected. So it could come out a little bit clumpy. which is why we need to keep mixing it to make sure that it becomes a kind of smooth texture.
I think if you have a whisk at home, it would be something very useful to use as well, but given that we just started up our kitchen, we don't have very many kitchen implements.
Being the pot noodle expert, while all this was going on, I've already stealthily gone to the sink to remove the hot water because we want it dry.
Yeah, because we want it slightly moist and damp, but then still dry. Also remember we kept the garnishing in so that we have a little bit of colour to our noodle.
And also because we want the crab meat, the veg.
Yeah, I mean you could always have the option of adding real vegetables, but of course blanch them in hot water first. Okay, so now we get to see Julia at work in the kitchen.
Don't try this at home, it's very dangerous, you know, like mixing peanut butter with noodles.
Yeah, I think basically what we did was we put it in a large enough bowl to make sure that we can coat the noodles evenly with the sauce. I had a sneak taste of the sauce. It tasted a little bit like tauhu goreng gravy. So it's got a little bit of that lengkuasi taste with a little bit of sambal, and that's accentuated with a nice peanutty flavour.
So you get a little bit of sweet and a little bit of sour.
Very nice.
It actually cooks pretty good. The texture is okay. It's not too dry. So you know, right now it does look a little bit messy. So what we're going to do is to make it presentable, and remember we have this garnish at the end. So we're just going to put it on a nice plate.
And of course this is specially for Mike.
Of course. Accidents happen.
Clearly we can see who hasn't been in the kitchen very often. So we're tucking into this very unique dish. I call it a fusion of junk food versus junk food.
The best kind.
The best kind, yeah. So I think this would be nice on like a cold, lonely, rainy Singapore night.
December got a lot.
Yeah.
You eat first, huh?
It's actually not bad. I like the sticky consistency of the peanut butter. And to be perfectly honest, I think it's quite an Australian flavour because, you know, if you remember, in Australia they like to even add peanut butter to their satay gravy. So it's actually pretty good.
I actually feel like I eat more.
So I really do like the consistency, and I think this will be something I will be making for my husband and myself if he will eat what I cook.
Yeah, but I think it's a little bit sticky and a bit nutty. So either a bit less peanut butter or a bit more water would do.
I would actually go for a bit more water because I think the peanut butteriness really makes this quite unique.
And I'm glad we left in the TomYam because it really gives it a really sourish, more of a full flavour, not be too sweet and too nutty.
Yeah, most definitely. I really think it's sort of like tan tan mian because it has that really nice peanutty flavour and
but with a bit of a Thai twist.
Sawadee-ka.
Well, so we kind of like it, but you know, we also want a third-party commentator who wasn't involved in the cooking process to evaluate the situation.
Yeah, I mean, and he always says it's very easy to be on camera, right? So let's see how he performs.
And welcome our producer, Mike! Woo!
This is not finished yet, right? Hey, what is this?
Garnish.
Yeah, but it's white. This didn't
It was, just eat
It
it.
didn't get mixed in. Interesting.
Mike, don't finish it all at once.
Why not? I'm not gonna leave any for you. It's, I don't know, it's very interesting, I guess.
Clearly he likes it.
That's mine.
So good. Out of five.
Very good.
Would you do it at home alone?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Besides making the steaks, I mean, do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and eggs.
That calls for another episode
That's
altogether.
right.
So there you have it, Delicia. Would you like to come in and wrap it up? Our very good chef who has put junk food and junk food together for excellent results.
So really, I think cooking is not so much of a science, but more of an art. Who knows, you can put two of your favorite things together and come up with a smashing different treat. So thanks guys for watching, and of course we'll bring you more DIYs really soon.
Bye.
Bye!
Delicious.